Hey guys, Drifter here. Welcome to Black Ops 4 In Depth, and today's episode we're going to be doing Assault Rifles versus SMGs. This was supposed to be the start of proper weapon guides because I decided since Exclusive Ace is already doing Assault Rifles and I don't want to retread what he's doing or work backwards, what I'll do instead is I'll just do SMGs first. That makes sense. There's usually two main weapons that people pick in COD as ARs or SMGs. So I was playing with my SMGs and I started struggling. I realized I was shooting first, dying first. I was getting a couple of good hits on and then I was getting turned on. That people would just eat bullets and I would die in like 2 or 3 shots. And I know a lot of people will say it's 20 hertz servers because that's a popular thing at the moment, but it really wasn't that. Wasn't lagging, there wasn't delay, there wasn't any input problems. And then in this particular gameplay where I was using the GKS on Summit, I realized I'm playing Summit, but almost every single person is using assault rifles. I'm playing Summit, one of the smallest maps in any Call of Duty game that it's ever been in, and everybody's using ARs instead of SMGs. And I know that it's an assault rifle dominant game. I know that SMGs are going to be weaker, but have you noticed just how dominant rifles are and how few people are using SMGs at all? Because in my games, people have almost completely abandoned them. And there's a reason for that. And the reason is, people learn this simply through playing and experience, but on average, assault rifle time to kill is faster than SMGs for all ranges. There is no range at which an SMG is truly competitive with the exception of maybe the Spitfire. So I want to go ahead and show you some numbers on this. Ooh, I almost forgot. Before we get started, I wanted to let you all know that I'm traveling to Sweden later next week, and I'm going to be having a fan meetup in Stockholm. I'm kind of squeezing it in this video because when I make an independent fan meetup video, for whatever reason, the YouTube algorithm hates it, but I did link it below if you happen to be living in Sweden or anywhere near Stockholm and want to stop by and say hi. The ICR has a time to kill of about 0.39 seconds. KN57 is significantly faster at 0.32. That's up close. It falls off kind of quickly, oddly. The Rampart at 0.34, the Vapor 0.36, and the Maddox is 0.32, which is really fast. If you're up close, that one has pretty hard damage fall off too. But those are the minimum time to kills for assault rifles, assuming no headshots and assuming you're in close quarters combat and you just turn on somebody and start shooting. When it comes to minimum time to kill for the submachine guns, you'll notice that these numbers are significantly bigger, which is not what you want. You want these numbers to be smaller, which means faster. The MX-9 is about 400 milliseconds, GKS 0.45, Spitfire significantly better, 0.29, Cordite 0.37, and the SOG 9mm at 0.32. If you were to do something like take these 5 SMGs and 5 assault rifles and average them together, which is a little bit misleading because there's nuance here and there's ranges and stuff, but we'll keep it simple for now, and take a look at it, you'll see that the average assault rifle time to kill is 0.346 seconds, and the average SMG time to kill is 0.366 seconds. Wait a minute. How come assault rifles are killing faster than SMGs? That's a little odd in Call of Duty games. And what's odd about this is they're killing faster, not just maybe say on average of all gunfights that happen at a variety of ranges, because it would be normal that long-range gunfights SMGs don't perform well in. This is close quarters combat. This is point blanking people. This is 10, 15 meters, within shotgun range, where SMGs should be excellent. Assault rifles still outperform them. It's even worse for SMGs at long range. Long range SMGs, you just about can't kill people at all, whereas other assault rifle users will kill you in like 3 shots. You could say that SMGs are more forgiving, that they have better hip fire, better handling, you can aim down sights faster, and those things are true, but with the addition of Gung Ho that allows you to ADS and instant fire, like I think I mentioned that in 2 episodes back, there's no real sprint out delay or delay in shooting, so assault rifles still have the advantage. But you might say, wait a minute, Drifter, what about the attachments? Attachments matter. You can put a lot of rapid fire and like stat boosting attachments on SMGs. Well, you can put them on rifles too, and the rifles get kind of ludicrous when you do this. So some rifles can have rapid fire, some can have high caliber, and I think the Vapor can take both, but I decided to go with just high caliber on the Vapor. We'll call these boosted time to kills. As you can see, they're up on the screen here. ICR has nothing cool like that. It's still 0.39. KN57 can take rapid fire, so it kills a little faster at 0.3. The Rampart with high caliber too, and you get chest hits for this one, is an extremely fast killing 0.24. I would probably give that the overall fastest time to kill rating for assault rifles, with one exception, and that's the Vapor at 0.18 seconds time to kill with high caliber, because high caliber gives you a 75% damage boost to headshots. And to make this work, you need to hit like 2, maybe 3 headshots in a row, but the raw damage output on the Vapor is truly ludicrous with high caliber. Maddox is 0.29. Now we can take a look at the exact same kind of boost with either high caliber or rapid fire and SMGs, and you'll see that the MX9 is a way faster 0.23. That was another weapon where high caliber had a 75% headshot damage boost. MX9 high caliber headshots, very, very nasty. We'll talk about that on in-depth. GKS had no modifier, so it's the same. The Spitfire's got the wildfire attachment, so that dropped its time to kill down to 0.2, which is incredibly fast. Cordite 0.34, and SOG at 0.32, again, unchanged, because it didn't have any of those attachments that modify stuff. Now, these SMG numbers look a lot better, mostly just because of the MX9 and the Spitfire have really huge, like, vertical modifying attachments when it comes to your time to kill. However, if you take the average time to kill of the assault rifles with these boosts and the average time to kill of SMGs with these boosts, you'll see that the assault rifles still kill faster at 0.28 seconds, whereas the SMGs are at 0.308 seconds, so the average SMG is still going to underperform compared to the average assault rifle. And as you see, especially when you start looking at like the Rampart and the Vapor, the time to kills are comparable to boosted SMGs as well. We're not just, fudging numbers here. And once again, I want to remind you, this is close quarters. This is point blanking people. When it comes to distance fights, SMGs are going to kick more, they're going to turn in projectiles and have goofier ballistics, their damage is going to drop down to poop. It's going to be way, way, way harder to use SMGs at range, whereas most of the rifles in Black Ops 4 are pretty easy to use. The only rifle that I can think of offhand that isn't very easy is the Rampart. The Rampart has that super insane high caliber, so it should have high recoil. There should be some mastery to it. But even the Rampart's not particularly hard. The ICR is super easy, the Vapor's super easy, the KN is easy, and the Maddox is fairly easy. The Maddox does kick a little bit. So at this current meta, as of right now, this stage of the game, there's no reason not to just use assault rifles all the time. If you're going to play somebody in a small map, if you're going to rush and do close quarters combat, it's much better for you to just run a Rampart with high caliber and make sure that you have gung-ho on so you can react super fast than it is to run something like an SOG or maybe an MX9 unless you're using high caliber, but even then that's kind of difficult to do. It's much better to run a Vapor X than it is to run, say, a Cordite or even a Spitfire in some cases, depending on the attachments you're going to put on it. And that to me is just kind of crazy. Ideally, you would want to have a balance where SMGs kill like really fast up close. Like if somebody gets up in your face with an SMG and they dump a bunch of bullets into you, you just get shredded, right? And you would want to have the rifles deal high damage, of course, up close, because they're big bullets and you're just getting face checked with them. But rifles should shoot slow enough, or at least be somewhat behind SMGs, so that if somebody's carrying an ICR, and I'm carrying like a Cordite or something, and we both turn the corner and aim down sights on each other at almost exactly the same time and start shooting, the SMG should outperform the assault rifle. In Black Ops 4, that's just not going to happen. The assault rifle is going to win, which is why when I play Summit, I see everybody in the game using rifles instead of SMGs, and why I've been having such a difficult time making SMGs in depth, because my honest answer is that there's not really a reason to use many of them right now. The 3 SMGs that I can say are useful are the MX9, but the MX9 only with high caliber and only if you're getting headshots. The Spitfire is useful just in and of itself, and it's really nice with wildfire. And finally, the SOG. The SOG maintains reasonable competitiveness. It's more or less tied with rifles, so you kind of have to use the better hip fire or mobility or something, but it's still not that crazy. Rifles are just better. And as for what I think should be done about it, I don't think that rifles need to be nerfed. Believe it or not, I think balance-wise, rifles are in a really good spot, and in a game with a lot of health that at least previously had a really slow time to kill, having powerful rifles is a good idea. I do think maybe the Vapor and high caliber need to be looked at. That is a ludicrous combination. I think that instead, SMGs need buffs. SMGs probably need small damage buffs to get them over critical shot to kill numbers. They maybe need to be 5 shots to kill instead of 6 by default, or they need to shoot faster, or they need something to be more competitive, or for this season of Call of Duty, we'll call it SMGs are just going to collect dust. Guys, that is all for this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that you learned something useful. If you did, don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. Drifter out.